What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight in the BrewLab, I'm continuing on this last little adventure for the end of July to try and refine some of the top-tier meta decks, or see if there's any changes that we can make to things that feel at this point in the format to be completely like solidified as like the way to play this list, you know? I think if there's any time to do this type of video, it's now, very late in the format, when most people just have accepted the fact that a lot of others have put work in on these decks lists, and they're at the top of the meta for that reason, and so there's no real wiggle room in the card choices, and they should be played exactly as they are on Untapped and so on. You know, that means people stop trying other things. They just, okay, well, that's got the best win rates, let's just play it exactly as it is. And this is when you can actually make some little adjustments. And I didn't want to go for Selesnya enchantments or mono red, even though we will. Those just seem a little bit more obvious, and we just did mono white, which is, you know, those are the top three. I wanted to go for something a little bit further down in the rankings, but that is still definitely very much represented in the meta. And I'm talking, of course, about 5-color domain and you know, an Atraxa pile. But I've gone about things a completely different way, and I think, or at least I hope, that by the end of tonight's video, I'll prove to you that it is a viable alternative. So without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. I'm calling it Black Domain because the current Atraxa piles are definitely much more green and white focused, and they got the Leyline, I beg your pardon, the ossification. They've got the Topiary Stomper and the Angel. Yes, those cards are phenomenal, especially the Angel. I definitely feel like it's the one card I'm missing having in the deck a little bit. But the Topiary Stomper has always felt terrible to me, like really clunky card. You guys have watched me playing my aggro decks against Domain, and so many times I just destroy them before they can even do anything. And the fact that the Topiary Stomper can't block right away, and by then you've already played your Adeline and you just continue to attack through the Topiary Stomper, and if they don't happen to have that perfect hand where they go Stomper into Invasion of Zendikar into Atraxa, and even then, you know, you just get rid of the Atraxa, continue to attack it. It hasn't, you know, I don't know. I felt like that was really one of the weak spots of the deck. So I've forgone those cards and focused much more on like a more kind of control deck. By focusing more in on the black, we have access to some fantastic cards. First of all, Breach the Multiverse, which of course, like, it's a 5-color pile. You could play this anyway, and some decks do, but it's 2 black pips. We've also got Drag to the bottom, my sweeper of choice, instead of Sunfall. 2 black pips again. This one will end up doing -6/-6 if you have full domain, and that deals with pretty much everything, and it can come down a turn earlier than Sunfall and deal with mono red, mono white humans, you know, Selesnya Toxic, Selesnya enchantments, all of the more creature-based aggressive decks. If you can have access to a sweeper a turn earlier than Sunfall, that's often a really good thing. So going with drag to the bottom instead, and then of course the really good black removal, targeted removal stuff. Go for the Throat, Sheoldred, Edict, which do not feature at all in the current top tier version of Atraxa domain. They're all focusing in on Leyline Binding and ossification, and only maybe 1 or 2 copies of Sunfall as their removal. I think, but by doing things this way, we are ramping a little bit slower, so we're not getting our, you know, Atraxa down on turn 5 and whatnot, but we can play a little bit more of a slower game, and even though it's still totally doable, because Herd Migration and Invasion of Zendikar helping us find our land drops can often mean a turn 5 or 6 Herd Migration, you know, 7 drop, X is 7 drop, of which, as you can tell, there are many on turn 5 or 6, but if it doesn't happen, it's okay, because we've got so much removal to control the game and then just do it a little bit later. And then if their opponent gets rid of our Etali, gets rid of our Atraxa, we have Breach the Multiverse to go get them back. And we can also, as you know, I mean, this card is one of my favorites and definitely the strongest card from March of the Machine. We can also snag something from the opponent's graveyard. So yeah, this is my like more black black focus, black centric version of domain ramp. And I think it's, again, I hope to convince you by the end of this video that it is a viable alternative. So without further ado, let's jump into some games and see how it holds up on the Mythic ladder. So far, so good. And also just fun and different. Catches some people unawares. Because the play patterns are so... You always know what the you know, domain piles are doing now. They're always expecting that turn 3 Topiary Stomper, that, you know, turn 4 Zendikar. We're doing, you know, we have some cards in the list that they don't always expect, and I catch some people unawares, which is pretty cool. The worst deck to play against is obviously freaking mono blue, as always. Just in general, that's just the worst deck to play against, but let's see what we're up against. So this is basically replacing, this Celestus is replacing Topiary Stomper. Kinda does the same thing, right? Interesting. Looks to be some sort of Convoke pile. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Jeskai, huh? Would love to find a copy of Drag to the Bottom. Don't you just love that? I love that. The deck just listening, you know? Thank you. Let's go green. Maybe should have gone red. No, we've got 2 red for Etali. Okay, he's only got 1 mana available to potentially counter with, so zoink. It's you know, if it's spell pierce, we've got enough. And then next turn we are breaching. I had a feeling it would be you. No blue mana available, so let's Sheoldred's Edict you. Quite happy to do that. Cool, someone's playing something different. Like, really interesting idea here. But the deck like this will just fall apart to any sweeper. How can this deck deal with Sunfall? I would love to know. Okay, this breach better be a good one. There's Atraxa. I think I'll take his Balmor. Boom. What else did we mill? Bye. Oh, Atraxa. What a card. What a ridiculous card. That would have just restocked the whole hand. I've just steered a little bit clear from playing it because it's just like one of those just obviously ridiculous cards. But, you know, it does feel pretty fun when you get one onto the battlefield. And, you know, we've got a hit. We've got one of each spell. Yeah, we've got artifacts, we've got enchantments, we've got sorceries, battles, everything. So, like, potentially Like a full new clutch of hands. Okay. A whole new clutch of hands. A whole new hand in your clutch, I guess. I had a really rough night last night, guys. For whatever reason, I think maybe my son must have like kicked me in the middle of the night. He still sleeps in bed with us. And I woke up at like 1 something in the morning and couldn't get back to bed till about 3. I said a pretty rough one. Didn't get a very good sleep. Aha! The nemesis emerges. He'll probably go for the Phoenix. We need to find our dang friggin' drag to the bottom, and we need to find it fast. It'll be the Phoenix, right? I mean, because it's the one that can come back. Nice. Like, you know, alternate art or whatever. Now you can bring the Phoenix back, but you can't attack with it. So we did stop one bit of damage coming through. It's not looking good. We need our sweeper. We need some removal. Oh, God. I wonder if he'll swing into the regatta or just go face. I would probably go face if I was him. Yeah. Good call. Now, this one's probably over before it even started, unfortunately. Okay. I'm gonna let it go tonight so we can gain some life off the Celestus. And then we've got options here. We can herd migration. Yeah, let's see if he spends the mana on Kenra. Go back up to 9. The life gain on that herd migration is pretty crucial. This costs 3 to activate, which leaves us with 2 for a go for the throat. Cool. It's got to be the Raffines. There we go, baby. So yeah, Tear Asunder, probably just too expensive. Want to hold up, go for the throat. And then we can be breaching next turn, can't we? 1, 2, 3, 6. We need an untapped land. Hey-o! We got there. We got there. Let's go, fresh news. It really is just like survive until Atraxa hits the board. And, you know, Etali's like plan B. I've kept the numbers the same as the original list from Untapped. So 4 Atraxas, 2 Etalis. I was toying with different... I went with 3 Atraxas, 3 Etalis. But Atraxa is just your... It's your card advantage. It's your card draw. So far, so good. Managing to sneak a game off of Mono Red, you know, when they get you so low like that, always feels fantastic. And the Celestus played a huge role in that. Sky Crag. What's up, Sky Crag? Gonna kick your ass. Okay, this is a problem because we don't have the green for the herd migration. So I'm gonna mulligan. Wow, okay. Go green first. Wow, guys, over the last few videos, huh? Like, can you believe it, honestly? Just the number of games we play against this pile of crap. Just non-stop. Over and over and over again. The same damn deck. I should have gone with the... Silly, silly, silly. So silly. I would love a land. So annoying. Okay, so we need to go take a white land. So that we can... Leyline Binding, Mr. Squee over here. Okay. Okay. Wow. Thanks, man. Just amazing. One untapped source would be amazing off the top. Then we can go Leyline and Zendikar. So it's getting pretty close to bad news bears territory. Oh, wow. We don't have a big play to follow up the Invasion of Zendikar in hand, so I'm gonna rather hold up the removal. He'll go for the Epicure. Then let's wait for the attack step, and then Leyline Binding the Swift Spear, I would say. And maybe not. Maybe it's gonna be the Phoenix chick. He may still have, like... play with a lightning strike in hand. Well, that's game over. Didn't find the sweeper. It's crazy how few of them we've top decked in the last 3 games, even though there's 4 of them. You know, just some shuffler shenanigans. I was happy enough to get 1 win off of Mono Red. Were we on the draw on the play there? I don't remember. I said I had a very rough night with very little sleep. You'll have to excuse me if I make some niggly game, like, you know, misplays. I'm trying my best to focus. I did imbue quite a ridiculous amount of caffeine before hitting record. No bueno. Okay, mono black. Mono black discard. More people are jumping on the discard train, huh? That's nice. Mirrex, you beauty. Okay. There's a breach. Breach is good. We just keep finding more breaches than anything else. So let's go find another black. We're on 26. We can also, you know, Urborg. Scavengers. Bye-bye. He knows we've got it, so that was probably bait. He's probably got something more interesting in his hand. But whatevs. We're getting close to a breach. As long as he doesn't have another duress. Ooh. Okay. Cut down. Doesn't really faze me at all. You know, it would be nice to just find removal of our, like, bajillions of removal spells somewhere in our library. It would be really quite nice, but no such luck. Okay, cool. I mean, this is slower than red. We've got plenty of time to find stuff, though, so I'm not too worried, honestly, right now. For the moment, I'm still feeling okay. There we go. The perfect top deck. Let's get rid of these things first. And then breach next turn. Please no duress. Please no duress. Please no duress. Cool. Double breach, baby. Double breach, baby. Yes. Let's reload. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I guess he'll remove the Atraxa with Vraska. And I'm okay with that. Oh, wow. Okay, he's got the double removal. No worries. We've got another one in hand, so it's all good. Whee! Bye-bye removal that you would have probably liked to have. And you know I've got the Go for the Throat in hand, and I can cast it off of the Flesh Gorger. That's now become a treasure, so then it'll also put it back in the graveyard. Nah. I think we save that Atraxa for now. Let's play the Lounge. Or okay, let's go for another breach and see if we hit an Etali. Yeah, there's an Etali. We've got an Atraxa in hand, so I'm gonna go for the Sheoldred to get rid of his Vraska. Yeah, please. Love me a Celestus. Nice. You always got to worry a little bit, though, like when you're playing so many breaches and stuff, because it's just like so many cards off the top, you know? Minus.
A fight? And you think you can
we have to remember that we can't flip this thing. Just remember that. It's very crucial, actually. Got him! We got him! Woo! Mono black dispatched. Mono red dispatched 1 out of 2 games. I don't know. This is feeling pretty good, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe more people should be looking at... I would kind of like to run into a mono white pile. It's so weird how the algorithm works. Like, so depending on the deck, I'm sure you guys have all experienced this. I'm not crazy. I'm not a tinfoil hatter here. Like, depending on what deck you play, the matchups are totally different. Like, you will go a whole night without seeing a single copy of, you know, a single opponent playing mono white humans, even though it's, like, supposedly, like, something ridiculous, like, in terms of the numbers of it in the meta. So, I think I'm going to keep the Etali and 1 Leyline Binding. We were forced to mulligan because that opening hand was pretty trashy. Pyro Mage. There we go. We even found the ramp necessary to play Etali. This is going to be a sweet one, I think. We've got some removal, the ramp, and then big bad Elder Dino over here. Such a ridiculous card. Like, again, like kind of similar. I feel like in the conversation when you talk about Sunfall and Farewell being in the same format. You can say the same thing about, oh, do we really need Etali and Atraxa in the same format? Just slightly ridiculous. Ooh, Celestus, huh? I think we go for the Celestus next turn. So that... yeah, I'd rather find another land than put down a mana dork. Cool. I wonder what this guy's trying. Like, Rakdos is not so good as it once was, the usual way, so maybe it's something more kinda... okay. That'll leave up 1 white for the Raffine's tower, and we'll happily pay. Well, we're gonna play Invasion of Zendikar next turn, so it doesn't really matter what we grab here, but let's just take the red. They have no way to deal with this in the color combo. I'm gonna go with green and blue. We've got 2 black. Yeah, I mean, we've got everything already, so whatever. Doesn't really matter. If we top deck a land, we can just go right into our ridiculous plays. If we don't, we can just play the Celestus and chill a little bit. Alright. I think Breach is going to be amazing. I think this is probably a Breach deck. I want to say this is probably an opponent also trying to do like Chandra Breach or something. So there's a good chance we'll hit one of their Chandras, one of their Etalis. Oof, those turns are ridiculous. You like Breach, get an Etali, the Etali hits another Breach. Just like, wow. Pretty magic the way George Garfield intended it. Richard Garfield intended it, huh? Anybody going to be tuning into the modern... Okay, so let's discard our Atraxa.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me. We all have things we'd rather.
Because then we're going to breach and hopefully hit another, you know, and we'll just grab our one. Is that it? Yeah. Bye-bye.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Now we've got the Sheoldred on our side of the board. You really wanted that on your end with the Phyrexian Arena, because now you're losing, what? You're drawing 2 cards, so that's 4 life. And then 5 life lost just from 1 draw step. And we got Breach Etali. This is in the bag again. The opponent bricked a little bit, but I mean, he just never stood a chance. Some kind of just Rakdos. Somebody who didn't get the memo that, you know, Invoke Despair was the only reason this deck was any good. Yeah, okay, Sheoldred, blah blah blah, but like essentially it was a Invoke Despair pile, and that card, and Fable, of course. Fable Invoke was what made this good, and it looks like he's just playing the same list without the Fable and the Invoke. Good luck beating Selesnya Enchantments. Good luck beating. I think we're getting a bit of salt here from Pyromage. Let's give him the shaky red hand guy. Salt Bear, little sprinkle. Oh. Mr. Salty Master. Okay, he was doing things there. I did see him like touching his library and whatnot, so... you know, with full information of what I had in hand, namely another Breach and, well, he didn't know about the Etali, but, you know, that just means I was gonna go get his Sheoldred again. He's only got 3 mana on the board. Sorry. Scent packing. Rakdos right now, like, if you're gonna play Rakdos, you're probably better off doing aggro, or, like, maybe sacrifice, maybe. Like, you know... only Cult Anvil shenanigans, but otherwise, I think it's probably better to just forget about Rakdos for the moment and play some better decks. It's not even in the top 6, like, decks in Untapped. It's, like, just disappeared. And I, for one, I'm okay with that. Like, I do like Rakdos. It's one of the color combinations I really enjoy, but it had a long time in the sun, and, like, I hope that Eldraine, like, boosts up different color combos. Okay, that's a terrible hand. None of our Triomes to reduce the casting cost of Leyline Binding. Much better. Ish. I mean, no ramp and all the top end. It's weird how the deck always like just serves you up like either one side or the other of your deck. Oh, I should have gone with the headquarters first. That was a huge misplay. Ooh. Probably want to cast this first if we ever get there. We're playing into counter spells and things. Drag to the bottom makes me pretty stoked. This deck ought to have Vraska. Fingers crossed. At least we're making a land drop every turn, but now we need the ramp. We need the Zendikar, we need maybe our Celestus. But we might be able to do a bit of grinding. Okay, I'll take that. So we'll go and grab green, I guess. No, we need 2 blacks, so we'll go and grab one of our black lands. Just in case it is a more creature-based one. So far, you know, the people playing Void Wings. Okay, we're still just dropping lands. We've got the 2 for Breach. That's all I really care about. And you know, drag. Drag will do 5, -5. So I think I'm mostly worried about a Vraska, because we don't have our Vraska removal. Still nothing. It's just about who blinks first. Like he may play out the Vraska now. Keep putting lands on the board. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 away, but we're gonna have to like try to get around a counter spell, which I believe there will be many of. Trying to get to the 3 for Corrupted to turn on. Now I'm gonna beta counter spell for the Voidwing, and if he doesn't have it, then or if he, you know, if he does, then we can follow up with a drag to the bottom. Okay. All right. Let's keep, you know, as few, because he can make another little guy now. But that's 1 less poison to deal with. And then hopefully he taps out for something. I haven't seen any counter spells, but there's the one that they always play in this list. And now he's got the mana to just use it straight up. I don't think we're going to be able to land this breach, unfortunately. So we'll try with the other stuff first and go for the breach last and hope that, you know, I mean, that's a full hand of counter spells. Let's see if he recasts the Voidwing. Okay. We're on 4. Do we risk it? Let's try. I mean, he's signaling a counter spell for sure. If only we had 8 mana, we could go Leyline and something else. But I'm just gonna try it. Let's go with the Atraxa first, actually. You know, it was obvious, but fine. We just have to keep applying, you know, pressure and see if we can land one of our big threats and get a, you know, they only usually run 4 of these, and sometimes there's the one with proliferate that's 3 mana. Sometimes. There she is. One more land, untapped, please, off the top. Let's go. Otherwise, we probably just lost. Yepa! So I can go whoop, and bait out a counter. And then follow it up with... Let's see. Okay, he's being clever. It's 9. I think we've lost. I don't know which to do. Oh, the choices. There we go. It's that one. Well, we're dead. 8, 9 plus any spell that proliferates or any of these. Nice. Well played. I still think this is like a really good deck that more people need to look at. Like, my version with the sharks was so cool. I don't think you need to play that Voidwing. It's kind of meh. Play the shark and go for the strategy. Go check out my video. I think it's really, really good. Like, a lot better than people think. And it just is nowhere. You come across it like once in 50 games. It's such a fun deck. Like, it's you often just get that 10th poison counter, like, well before you lose. I thoroughly enjoyed playing it, and I'm not usually one for, like, control-based decks, and that was one that I really enjoyed. And I think because of the proliferate and the incubator tokens, it's a good call. We don't have white source for Leyline Binding, but we've got the green source for Zendikar and plenty of black. Cool. Mono blue. Woo! My favorite. Ooh, deep breaths. This one's gonna be tough. Very, very tough. He's gonna, you know, oh my god, I hate this matchup so much. It's hard to express how much I hate playing against Mono Blue. I think you all know by now how much. We have to go Leyline, go for the throat. Oh, different approach. I like it. How sneaky of you. However, this now allows me to get my lands on. So what do we want? What are we missing? Blue and green? Doink. And sure, why not? Can't block with you anyway. Oh, I can't believe it. I didn't get the white. That was so dumb. Make sure I'm doing this correctly so that we have double black still open. So we go like this. He's getting low on cards. Now we just have to hope he's not running too many of those, you know, damn card draw spells. Then maybe he doesn't have another freaking counter spell in hand and we can actually land this Etali. I mean, this Atraxa now. Because it's that or we're dead. Of course. Of course. How much do we hate this freaking deck, people? From a scale of 1 to 10. Like, I would say it's a freaking million. Drives me insane. Now he just needs any way to, like, you know, stop my Atraxa from blocking, and we're dead. It's starting to like Origin is going up above my hate for even Sunfall and Wandering Emperor. Miracles do happen, people. Wow. Yes! Oh, baby, baby, baby. Yes! I'm so happy when I beat that crappy card, man. Woo! Baby, baby. He had so many chances. He just needed one slip out the back, one fading hope. That game would have just been curtains. But with a bit of luck, you can get around those freaking Jin decks. So, guys, we've arrived at the 45-minute mark. And I, for one, felt like that was a pretty phenomenal performance from my black domain. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, as always. Jumping back in with my final thoughts and overall review. It is viable. It is definitely, as you can see, those were all Mythic matches. We won the vast majority of them against some of the best decks in the format with a completely different take on domain ramp. So, you know, is it better than the other one? I'll leave that up to you to decide. But is it viable? Will it win games for you? And the answer is a resounding yes. The stats don't lie. So yeah, I would just leave it exactly as it is, mana base and all. I think I've made a little bit of a masterpiece here. So please take it for a spin. You've probably already got most of these cards. Nothing like crazy investment wise. You know, everything's pretty old. You know, again, I say that. I think I always just forget for a moment that I'm a content creator, and I always have, you know, I'm forced to spend a little bit of money every time a set release, and I spend all of my gold on packs. So I often have, and I play way more than the average person. So I have always got the whole collection right after like release day. Probably the majority of people that play on Arena don't, but still, I think a lot of these cards have been staples. And if you've, especially if you're already somebody who's playing, you know, the 5-color ramp pile, maybe just switch it up and try this black focused version, and let me know how it goes for you in the comments. But yeah, no changes needed. I would leave it exactly as is. And the only thing I would say is I did, you know, leave out some potential alternatives in Shadow Prophecy. I thought because we're playing Breach the Multiverse, which can bring stuff back from the graveyard, maybe Shadow Prophecy, you know, because it's a way of drawing, it's card advantage, and then the stuff that you don't put into your hand goes in the yard, so then you can like put the stuff you need into your hand, like more removal or whatever, and then an Atraxa or an Etali in the yard, and then cast a Breach later, and then get them back. I definitely considered this one. And then I also thought about playing the old Cruelty of Gix read ahead, like maybe just a one of, you know, maybe cut, I don't know what, but like this I also considered because of the ability to tutor, also get a little information on the opponent's hand, and then again, like I just said, bringing back, we've also got the Celestus that sometimes put things in the yard, you know, or often what happens with Atraxa piles is the opponent, you know, you get your Atraxa on the board and then they just kill it right away, and that is really our win con most of the time, from people scooping or you just attacking with a friggin' 7/7 Vigilance, Flying, Death Touch, Lifelink. But you know, having a few ways of getting it back into your battlefield is obviously great. So I just went quite light on that strategy with just one Takenuma and the breaches, but we found them so often in almost every game that I felt pretty confident that it's you know, it's not a necessity, but it's just something that I would put in the maybe pile. But that is it, guys. That is it. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be seeing you all in the next one with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.